For the past 18 seasons, Buffalo has entered the Orange Bowl with high hopes, but come away without a single victory. Last Sunday, with nothing to lose, Bill quarterback Joe Ferguson had no intentions of leaving Miami without at least putting up a good fight. Against the number one pass defense in the NFL, Ferguson threw for 419 yards and a career-high 5 touchdowns, including 2 first-half scores to wide receiver Byron Franklin, number 85. Buffalo's normally inconsistent offense moved the football up and down the field with little difficulty. Unfortunately for the Bills, Miami enjoyed the same luxury. The Dolphins kept the game close, coming from behind time and again throughout the entire afternoon. Forging the comeback trail in his first NFL start was rookie quarterback Dan Marino. Marino's third touchdown pass, hauled in by Mark Clayton with only 3 minutes remaining, gave Miami their first lead of the day, 35-28. However, with only 23 seconds remaining on 4th and goal to go, Joe Ferguson sent the game into overtime with a touchdown pass to Joe Cribbs. In the overtime period, after Miami missed 2 field goal attempts, Joe Danello got his chance from 36 yards out and made good. The 38-35 win not only kept Buffalo tied for the lead in the AFC East, but for the first time since 1966, the Bills would leave sunny Miami with more than just a tan. For years, the mighty Raider defense has been forcing opposing offenses to hit the road early. However, last Sunday, the visiting Kansas City Chiefs may have been all packed up, but they obviously had no intentions of leaving. Number 83, Stephon Page, made himself right at home with this 36-yard score to help give Kansas City a 14-0 first quarter lead. But just as the Chiefs seemed to be getting comfortable, the Raider offense showed them to the door. Marcus Allen's perfectly executed halfback pass to number 85, Dokie Williams, pulled Los Angeles to within 3, 17-14. While perfect execution is the key to winning, it often takes a back seat to simple, dumb luck. Allen's touchdown recovery gave Los Angeles a 21-20 victory. The win upped the Raiders' record to 5-1 and taught the Chiefs a valuable lesson about trying to stay in a game in which they don't belong. In St. Louis, the Cardinals were learning the same lesson from the Washington Redskins. Roy Green's touchdown reception tied the score at 7-7. Unfortunately for St. Louis, as the game wore on, it became apparent Green was one of the few Cardinals that could maintain his grasp on the football. St. Louis added 4 turnovers to their league-leading total, making things easy for John Riggins and the Redskins offense. Riggins has a knack for translating turnovers into touchdowns, as he scored 3 times in Washington's 38-14 win. The victory upped the Redskins' record to 5-1 as the Cardinals fell to 1-5. With the season creeping up on the halfway mark, the good teams are now beginning to pull away from the not-so-good teams. Welcome to As the Helmet Turns, Week 6 in the NFL soap opera. An ever-swirling, ever-changing drama based on the lives of today's young and restless football stars. Today's story takes place in Cleveland's Municipal Stadium, where Bobby got revenge on the family that put him up for adoption. The Jets decided that number 89, Bobby Jones, didn't fit in with their future. But as a newly adopted Brown, Jones' acrobatics gave Cleveland the lead over his ex-teammates. While the injured Freeman McNeil would best be suited for a role as a patient in General Hospital, his replacement, Bruce Harper, proved a valuable understudy. Harper's catch tied the game at 7 apiece with minutes left. Enter our hero, cool in the clutch Matt Barr. In earlier episodes, Barr defeated the Browns by kicking game winners as a Steeler, but now he belongs to Cleveland, as did a 10-7 win over the Jets. Cleveland's win provided them with one of the great days of their lives, while the Jets found that in the NFL it can be one hard life to live. Dynasty would be about the most inappropriate title of all for Houston's soap opera of late, as Sammy Winder's 165 yards rushing helped Denver hand the Oilers their 6th straight loss of the season. Winder and a pair of Steves, DeBerg and Watson, played leading roles in the Broncos' 26-14 victory. As usual, Houston's performance was limited, as receiver Tim Smith's brief cameo was simply not enough. After another unsuccessful show, Houston Oilers head coach Ed Biles resigned, leaving behind some young fans, all of whom are restless for a win. For the improving Los Angeles Rams, super rookie Eric Dickerson has taken them from the edge of night into division contenders. Clearly, number 29 is their guiding light. Dickerson opened the second half of a scoreless ball game with a 49-yard run, and highlighted his 142-yard day with a touchdown dash that led to a 10-7 Ram win. Dickerson's 6-game total of 778 yards kept him on a pace that would produce a 2,000-yard season. And in Baltimore, Frank Kush unveiled once more his version of All My Children, as his young cast helped Baltimore keep pace in the tough AFC East. Kush's youngsters let the visiting Patriots run up gobs of yardage, but turned them away when it counted. And when it really counted, running back Curtis Dickey came through with a super performance. Dickey's 68-yard catch and carry tied it up, and after rookie Raul Allegre's 13th field goal in 14 tries gave the upstart Colts the lead, a safety with 2 minutes left sealed the win 12-7. The good news for New England's Steve Grogan is that there's always a next week in the continuing NFL soap opera. But after this head knocking, he could very well play the lead in another world. In the past, Lion-Packer games in Detroit were often marked by frigid fields and fierce Thanksgiving Day fights. But since the move into the Silverdome, a serious air seems to have been missing from this 50-year-old rivalry. Last Sunday, Green Bay was anything but serious. They came into Detroit still dazed and somewhat starry-eyed from the dizzying heights they rose to a week before in their 55-14 thrashing of Tampa Bay. Against the 1-4 Lions, the Packers once again fell prey to an almost paralyzing inconsistency that has plagued them all year. And Detroit took full advantage of Green Bay's state of confusion, unleashing a lion of a fullback named James Jones, their number 1 draft pick. Jones rushed for 3 touchdowns, while quarterback Eric Hipple added 2 more scores in the air, hooking up both times with number 39, Leonard Thompson. The Lions roared over the Packers 38-14 for their first win since opening day. It was a much-needed victory for the much-maligned Monty Clark, who for at least a week was able to stave off rumors of his removal, and at the same time silence some of his most vocal critics. In another classic case of put-up-or-shut-up time, Phil Simms finally got his chance to put fire into the feeble Giant offense. But Butch Woolfolk's 7-yard surge capped off the only touchdown drive the Giants could muster, as the Eagles discovered that the surest way of winning at the Meadowlands is to merely avoid whatever side of the field number 56, Lawrence Taylor, happens to be attacking. Philly quarterback Ron Jaworski was good on 16 of 31 passes for 241 yards and 2 touchdowns, both to the NFL's leading yard gainer in the air, number 82, Mike Quick. Quick's first score from 5 yards out was short and simple. His second touchdown, though, which gave the Eagles a 14-6 lead, was both stylish and sweet. Quick, soft hands and sure-footed finesse sealed the fate of the Giants, who went down quietly 17-13. While the Eagles were continuing their roadshow mastery with a win at the Meadowlands, their 4th straight victory away from home, the Seattle Seahawks were also out on the open road, attempting to do something they had never done before. That is, beat the Chargers in San Diego. And even though this by now familiar play of Steve Largent snaring a Jim Zorn pass was ultimately called back, the Seahawks seemed destined to fulfill their dream, building a 21-0 second quarter lead. But backup Charger quarterback Ed Luther performed admirably again in relief of Dan Fouts. Luther's 12-yard touchdown pass to Kellen Winslow in the waning seconds of the first half stemmed the tide of Seattle's scoring and gave a wrist-bandaged, wobbly-legged Dan Fouts a realistic chance of leading a Charger comeback. Fouts' 59-yard scoring strike to Bobby Duckworth ignited a fiery second-half San Diego charge, so blazing that even their oftentimes abominable defense performed with a fearless abandon. Andre Young's 40-yard touchdown interception proved to be the game winner in San Diego's 28-21 victory. On a day when upsets spiced the NFL schedule, perhaps nothing was more startling than the Charger defense delivering a decisive knockout blow. The New New Orleans Saints are the only NFL franchise that has never experienced a winning season. But now, thanks to a cast of unsung heroes like running back Wayne Wilson and their aging quarterback Ken Stabler, a winning year seems to be within their grasp. In Atlanta last week, Wilson, number 30, led the Saints in rushing and receiving, and his touchdown gave New Orleans a fourth-quarter lead. However, the Falcons made the Saints earn this one. A Stacey Bailey circus catch and a William Andrews touchdown gave Atlanta a 17-16 lead with barely a minute to go. But that proved to be plenty of time for one of those patented Ken Stabler, I can't bear to watch finishes. With only 3 seconds remaining, the Saints' final prayer was answered by Morton Anderson's fourth field goal of the day. While the Saints' 19-17 win left many breathless, the winless Tampa Bay Buccaneers were hoping to leave the Dallas Cowboys gasping for air on the carpet of Texas Stadium. Five sacks, 3 interceptions, and numerous big plays suggested that these were not the same Buccaneers that were humiliated by Green Bay only a week earlier. Despite protests by Dallas that Gerald Carter, number 87, had stepped out of bounds, the Bucs scored once on this 56-yard completion. Then again when fullback James Wilder bolted up the gut for a 23-yard touchdown. The Bucs sensed their first victory of 1983 as throughout the contest, Dallas seemed to be in serious trouble. But what saved the Cowboys was the same magic that had preserved their unbeaten string all season long, the long-range coast-to-coast strike. An 80-yard Danny White to Ron Springs connection helped Dallas keep pace with the suddenly explosive Bucs, who owned a 7-point lead with less than a minute and a half to play. But just when it seemed darkest for Dallas, a ray of hope appeared in the form of a 52-yard catch and carry by number 30, Timmy Newsom. The Cowboys streaked into overtime, where a field goal eventually lifted them to a 27-24 win. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So far this season, the Dallas Cowboys have been both, and the combination has made them unbeatable. Good fortune has rarely shone down on the Chicago Bears this season, and last Sunday at home against the Vikings was no exception. Five costly turnovers kept Chicago scrambling from behind. But led by wonderful Walter Payton, the Bears did just that. Payton scored twice on short yardage plays, but in the end, these weren't enough to overcome 2 long bursts by the Vikings. The first, a 52-yard tightrope run by Darren Nelson, number 20. The second Viking touchdown came behind a perfectly executed cross block by tackle Tim Irwin, number 76, and guard Wes Hamilton, number 61. Tony Galbraith, number 32, filled the resulting hole and galloped on to a 23-14 Viking victory. Vikings are in their accustomed position atop the NFC Central Division once more. But judging from the surprises of the season's first 6 weeks, the scramble for this division, along with all the rest, has only just begun.